We're doing something very different, something very special right now. We've been joined by our friends at Sony. I'm my friend Amy Koppmann. It's nice to meet you. ReTV is in the process of now trying out the new Sony NEX VG10. A new camera from Sony. It is absolutely amazing. We've been playing with this all Photo Plus Expo, and we are seriously considering changing everything over to the Sony camera. So we're going to ask Amy a couple of questions about the camera, give you guys the technical ins and outs of what the camera is all about, maybe what it's being compared to out there, and what you can expect when you shoot with this camera. And somewhere in the middle of all of this, you're going to see some crazy shit happening. So just stay tuned. You're watching ReTV. Amy, so we're back now and we've got the camera. We've got a couple of guys that have joined us here on the Sony half pipe. Why don't you give us a rundown of the camera and what it's all about?
Okay, well what's really special about this camera, it is the first handycam camcorder in the consumer line to not only have interchangeable lenses, but also use an incredibly large APS-C size sensor. Same sensor you find in most DSLRs. So you get the picture quality, the depth of field, the low noise, everything that you love about shooting video with a DSLR. Right. But in a form factor that's much more comfortable. And
it is just so light too. Like I've been carrying this camera around all weekend and I love it.
Yeah, and this is one of its heavier points. It's got the 18-200 optically stabilized lens on it.
Fantastic lens, by the way.
It's pretty good all-purpose.
Yeah.
You know, the audio is great. You've got a quad capsule mic up top here, so you don't pick up any lens noise or motor noise or anything like that. It's very, very good quality audio. You do have a mic jack on the side here if you want to plug in. It records to both memory stick or SD card, and it does support SDXC. So it really is, like I said, the best of a camcorder and a DSLR all in one.
Well, and that's one of the things about it as well. And I was trying this out the other night. We were out at an event, and we decided to take some still photos because a lot of the competition out there is stills first, video second. Now Sony's thing is that they're video first and still second, but I have to tell you, I was blown away. We were shooting at 12,000 ISO, we were in a bar, imagine that, resource in a bar, and we were taking some still shots. I was getting shadow detail at 12,000. I mean, it was mind-blowing. I mean, and the 14 megapixels, the lens is great, it's sharp, the images were amazing. I was completely stunned.
Yeah, and you can do 7 frames per second.
That's killer.
You know, it really is the features you love about a DSLR, but that form factor of a DSLR, that front heavy, you know, you're limited to 29 minutes of video recording. Here you don't have that issue.
It doesn't stop.
Record the capacity of the card. You shoot full AVC HD, 1920, 1080.
Right.
So it's very flexible to work with, but extremely high quality
Does
audio.
Does that distract you at all?
Oh,
no,
not at all.
Not at all, okay.
This is every day for me.
Let me go. Let me go. Let's take a look at some of the other features that I was really impressed with. I mean, the menu on the side here, so simple. You've got a little click wheel here, rolling through. Like it's just so easy to use.
Very intuitive.
And some of the other features are just like the inputs. I mean, you've got your HDMI, you've got your USB, your DC in, and also for your headphone jack. One of the nice features that I loved about it as well is the battery compartment at the back. You can take anywhere from, what would you say that battery that's in there right now?
That battery that's in there now will give you about 2 to 3 hours.
Right.
The high capacity one sits right flush with the back of the camera, so it doesn't get in the way of your nose if you're using the viewfinder.
And that's fantastic. What else can we expect from this camera? Tell us about some of the add-ons. There's something, I mean, with the interchangeable lens system, I mean, it really does open a lot of doors.
Well, what's unique about this camera is it's based off of what we call our E-mount system. It's an NEX camera, which meaning it is interchangeable lens. We have a digital still called the NEX, which gives interchangeable lens capability, but with an adapter, you can use any of our full-size alpha lenses on here. So if you want to put on a 300 f2.8, you can do that. If you want a 16mm fisheye, you can do that. If you want a 16mm fisheye, you can do that. There's also plenty of third-party companies out there that make adapters for the E-mount. So maybe you have lenses from another company you don't want to get rid of and you just love that lens. No problem putting that on here.
And what about the price range? Let's talk about that a little bit.
The price of the camera is about $19.99, and that's with the 18 to 200 lens. If you were to buy that lens separately, the lens alone is $800.
Wow, that's incredible. Well, Amy, thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
No problem.
It's
Thanks
been an
for
amazing
coming.
experience. We're going to keep shooting with this camera. We're going to be all over Photo Plus for the rest of the day. It's our third and final day at the Jacob Javits Center, but we're having a blast. I want to thank our friends at Sony for letting us try out the camera. You're watching Resource Television. Stay tuned. See what we got coming up for professionals like you.